Hi, welcome to the Colette Technique Daily Words on ACE studies. That's what I want to talk about today. Adverse childhood experiences. These studies, called the ACE studies, were really the landmark for how trauma began to come to the surface for us all today. They were done in the late 90s. I believe they were finished in 1998, and they were done by the Kaiser Institute. So there was a doctor, Dr. Vincent Felitti, lovely man, and he was working in an obesity clinic. He was fresh out of med school, and he could get these people to lose weight, but he couldn't get them to keep it off. He could get them to lose 100 pounds, but they would gain it right back, and he couldn't figure it out. So he got together with Kaiser, and they created this 13-page questionnaire. Were you abused as a child? Was there violence in the house? Did you feel safe at home? Were you lonely? Were you abandoned? Was there wealth? Was there poverty? Was there food? And they sent it out to 17,000 people, different economic backgrounds, different social backgrounds, different religions, et cetera, et cetera. And when the results came back, they were extraordinarily shocked. They had never, as Dr. Felitti said to us, I had never heard the word trauma in medical school. Again, this is back in the 90s. And so what they did was they brought these clients back in and they allowed them to speak because they didn't know back then about trauma. They weren't sure what we were supposed to do with all this information. But they allowed them to speak. And in just allowing them to speak, they were helping them to release their trauma. I don't remember whether it's Thich Nhat Hanh or Eckhart Tolle, but somebody says when you allow someone to speak, you allow them to release their suffering. And that's true. So now, why the obesity clinic? Why weight as a form of trauma? Because food's an addiction. And so I'm going to shove that food in my mouth so that I don't have to deal with my emotions. I'm going to shove that cupcake in my mouth so that that makes me feel better for the time being about me versus how my life really is. In addition to that, quite often weight can be used for protection. So people will put on weight if they've been sexually abused because the unconscious believes that no one can come close to me. It's sort of a protection form. Louise Hay says that also. So if you ever are interested in where trauma started and what trauma is, but I want you to remember that it's really important that adverse childhood experiences affect us in the older ages, in 19 on, really, or 15 on. Aristotle said, show me the 7-year-old boy and I'll show you the adult. So from Lily and I today, Om Namo Narayani.